What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at the map Cargo from Black Ops 2. Now, before I get into the video itself, I do want to let you guys know that I've been live streaming here and there in the last few weeks. So if you guys ever want to give any ideas or want to give some suggestions or just chill, I'd recommend joining as we've been playing a whole ton of other games that are not related with my channel and whatnot. And it's just a great way for me to get to know you guys and also know the community. But without further ado, let's get into the map Cargo. Now, before we get into the map, we know that it takes place in Singapore, because if we press pause as usual, we could see sometimes details about where the map is located and whatnot, and it says Port of Singapore. Now, for the first time in the Overanalyzing series, this map is technically canon in the campaign for Black Ops 2. Now, if you've played the Black Ops 2 campaign, you know that there's something called a Strike Force mission, which it's like these side missions where you just have to do a few objectives, and you have to do in a certain amount of time. It could be something like a hard point or domination. Now, in one of these strike missions, specifically the second one, your task is to just capture all the domination points. The point of the mission is to destroy the ship, the cargo ship specifically. Now, on this map, as you could tell, there's no cargo ship at this dock, right? But if we turn around, we could see the exact cargo ship that is in the campaign Strike Force mission on its way towards the dock over here. And we know that this takes place before that mission because obviously the ship is not destroyed, and also it's not even arrived at the dock yet. This is just the build-up, this multiplayer map. Now, we know that the factions, as we could tell at the bottom, is the SEAL Team 6 and then the SDC faction. There's no specific month, but according to the Call of Duty wiki, it does take place in the year 2025. Now, if you're someone that's been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for a while, you know that this map is sometimes controversial. People don't really like the color grading of this map and think that it's just kind of a grainy, dark map, but I think that this map has a lot of unique things about it. Now, if we make our way towards the middle of the map, going up these crates, we can already tell that this is something that's just rearranging all these shipping containers. Now, what's unique about this is that it makes the map interactive. Again, I probably don't need to explain it for the people that have played Black Ops 2. You already know that if you stand in the middle of this area, then you're just a rookie at Call of Duty, because this is literally just a death sentence, because you can easily just get crushed by some of these containers. But it's just cool that there's something larger going on in this map that we kind of tend to just ignore. I mean this does add so much life to the map, because honestly, if it wasn't for the middle area having this whole animated area and this entire interactive middle part, I think that this map would be a lot more boring than what it's being set out to be. Now, we have already established that the main thing about this map is obviously the shipping containers. I mean, look around you. This map plays on the shipping containers. You need to rely on them for you to be able to advance in the map, or for you to take cover, and for you to get an advantage point. Now, if we look at some of these shipping containers, one of the first things that we noticed is we know that at the bottom it translates in English to Frost Exports. There's no direct reference to anything that I can think of or I can find, but the only thing I can make a reference to is the future map Frost in later DLCs for Black Ops 2, meaning that this is probably some foreshadowing. Who knows? I could be wrong, I could be reaching, but it wouldn't be a far-fetched idea. And we know that Treyarch like to put a lot of references of themselves in these maps sometimes. I mean, we saw it with the map Grind, we saw it, and we'll see it later on in later maps. Now, for this shipping containers, it really has nothing or no reference to, but again, I'm not too sure, and I couldn't really find anything. Maybe if some of you are watching this might be able to find something. Now, for Relic Import is the same principle as the other one we just saw. It has no reference to anything, but again, if you guys know something, please let me know down below. Now, a very cool thing that I've noticed when I looked at this map was the doors. Now, if we really want to look and overanalyze the doors, if you look at the doors, it kind of resembles the Black Ops 2 logo arch going down into the middle and then continuing at the bottom, meaning that this is kind of like a design that they kind of went with. And I mean, by looking even at this door here in orange, you could almost probably tell that it would be a Black Ops logo if they were to just slim it down and put one right next to it. I mean, there's nothing too crazy with this map, especially on the left side. It's just a standardized shipping dock. Now, I think because of automatic shipping container sorter, it makes this map a lot more iconic and also more unique. But a thing that I find really cool that you could do in this game is there's a lot of slim areas, meaning that you can make your way around this area of this building and just kind of flank. People don't really realize these small crevices there are, and just you can easily just kind of snipe and stay in the back. And I mean, the only downside with here is if someone shoots this red barrel here, you are cooked. if you really want to flank too, you could easily just pop on top of these boxes and then shoot whoever's camping up here. There's 3 different areas you can make your way up here to eliminate the person that's camping. This map relies a lot on having height advantage. I mean, if you look at both sides, they face all each other when it comes to height on either side. Like I mentioned with the other side, there's 3 areas that people can come and eliminate you from. I mean, you're not always checking all these 3 angles, meaning that you have to always watch your back when you camp up at these areas, because you can easily just get flanked and eliminated. You don't really have that much sense of cover when it comes to actually being in the open. Simple little 2-3 barrels that are blocking you when you actually want to eliminate people in the open. Now, when we look at this truck, we could tell that it's completely empty. There's no boxes, no skids, no nothing inside of this truck. It's almost completely empty for a semi-truck. We know it got into an accident. Now, at first, I came up with the idea that maybe this is where the SDC came out of, meaning that they rushed into this area and got into an accident, and then obviously rushed out of this truck and then started attacking. I mean, they do spawn on this side. The reason why I don't think that the SDC came from this is because if we look actually around this area where the truck got into an accident, we see a bunch of these skids and boxes full of products. They probably removed the products as quickly as possible after the accident. I mean, it makes sense with these stairs over here to help take things out of it, and also with the cones around the products. There's these flare things on the ground to direct traffic usually when there's an accident on a road of some sort. If we look at the front, there's no sort of forced of entry. I mean, you could tell that they basically stopped. However, I do think this map did provide us actually one point of forced entry, and I wouldn't say it was really forced, because if we look at where this toll booth is, it looks normal, right? It doesn't look like anyone did any damages anywhere, but if we look to our left, we see that there's a door slightly open. It's most likely that the SDC sneaked in. I mean, this is a unauthorized danger area. It comes to kind of like a commercial type public road like this, they wouldn't just leave a door slightly open. I mean, for security reasons. It's not confirmed, but it would make a lot of sense. Know that there's a little building in here. Upon entering it, it's just kind of like an empty room. I mean, nothing too crazy. We do have the return of the sticky notes. Once again, see the sticky note that says zombies are coming. Now, one thing that I actually realized while looking at these was this one X'd out here. And this one might not seem important, but if you really read it, it says fixed turbines. Now, we do know that there's a map, Turbine, in Black Ops 2, and it's not a DLC map, it's one of the standalone maps that came out with the game, meaning that this kind of connects those 2 maps together. When we make our way to the left side of the map, we see this garage over here. Now, this garage is actually the Port Authority Administration garage, meaning that this is where the security building is. I noticed that there's a door that really leads to nowhere, and it's just like some empty backyard type of thing, which I find pretty funny. Now, there's nothing too special about this bottom area, because this is where they obviously park the forklifts and then just get their safety stuff, their helmets and whatnot. Now, one thing I did find very interesting that catches my eye is this little thing over here on the wall, a security or electric panel, because it has a whole screen on it. I guess if you press this, it shuts off the entire, I guess, port energy / machinery. Now, when we make our way to the upstairs area, we could obviously tell that there's washrooms and that this is where probably the manager's offices are. I mean, yet again, see this panel over here, which again controls probably all the energy, and also we have this office here once again. Now, continuing to the left side of the map, I wouldn't say it offers too much details as well. I mean, it kind of has again one of these elevated areas over here where you could take cover and shoot, but I do find it's very useless in my opinion, because I do think a lot of the times people don't really come up here, because everything does happen on the front side / middle side of the map, and I do know the people that camp the hardest come on this area. And honestly, I would say this middle area of the spawn is kind of just something that people would use to just kind of camp or try to flank. Now, I think going on theater mode really shows us a lot about the map, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite parts about this overanalyzing videos is actually looking at things from an outside perspective. Now, when we really zoom out of this map, we see one of the things that I've noticed, and that some of you guys have started noticing since I made these videos, but the colors of the containers and the different sides. Now, if we look at the left side where the seal spawn, we know that it's all in red. And if we look at the blue side, the SDC, we know that it's all in blue. Now, when I overanalyzed the map grind, I did notice something, but I didn't think it was important because I didn't really see it. But now, I honestly am fully confident that we will see this again. Now, we obviously know that the left side is red and the right side is blue. And if you haven't picked up on it, the middle side ish area is all in orange. Now if you refer back to my grind video, now if you look at the middle area of the map grind, you will see that obviously that it goes from blue to red, but in the middle it's orange, indicating that orange color signifies where the teams meet each other. Now going back to the truck over here, there's actually a detail that you cannot even see in game, and honestly I wish there was kind of a reference that we could see in the game. Now if we actually make our way to the front of the truck, which you obviously can't see in game, it says Treyarch, which are the studio that worked and made this game, but also it says I love video games. Not only that, if you look on top of where it says Treyarch, it says November, California, meaning that this is a nod reference to November 13th when the game came out, and California because that's where the Treyarch headquarters is actually located. Honestly, I've never really seen a video or anybody talking about this, as I previously mentioned that this could be the point of entry where the SDC came from or sneaked in. There's not really any details that help us elaborate more on it, which is kind of unfortunate, but yet again, it's an outside area and I don't think Treyarch really intended to design a whole story or narrative that's going on outside of it. Now, a really cool thing I do like is that they even added a parking lot, and I know it's just a plain regular parking lot, but it's really hard to actually see it in game, which adds a lot of life. Even though you can't see it, I just do think it's a really cool detail they did. I mean, they continued so many things behind the map that you wouldn't really even notice or see. I mean, as I said before, I think cargo offers a lot of outside details. I mean, we could literally see another type of cargo area in the background with another boat. Now, one of the coolest things I think about this map, if you haven't picked up on it, is the bright city going on behind. I think that that just adds a whole bunch of color to the map and doesn't make it as dark and as grimy as it's out to be when you're in game. I think that a lot of these lights that are in this map make the map so much more alive, and especially this city. I mean, whole ton of different colors, whole ton of advertisements, and a whole ton of things going on in the background, and it makes the map look so much cooler when you think about it. I don't really know how to explain it. I just think it adds more life. It would have been interesting to see something going on in a neon city in Black Ops 2. I mean, we have that now today in current Call of Duty games, a whole ton of neon different color maps, but imagine in a Black Ops 2 game in 2012 and 13 having a whole colorful oversaturated area. I mean, that would be an interesting concept for a map. If we continue on in the harbor outside of the map, there's these obviously storage sorters, except it's obviously not as advanced as the one that we have in the map. If you really walked onto this, you could easily get squished. I mean, that's the whole point of this map during gameplay, is if you risk to go in the middle, you might possibly die, but if for someone that works here, you could easily walk off, accidentally fall, and potentially get squished. And I mean, we have safety barriers around here, but it doesn't seem like there's any on these open areas here where you can freely walk onto it. This forklift could accidentally just drive off and get squished or cause a workplace accident. So the level of safety is very low with this map, I would say, when it comes to the main middle area. Now, we already know that this map actually has a ton of vehicles all over the place. My main question and concern is, how did some get to certain areas? Now, I mean, there is an obvious route that helps this vehicle make its way to where it's at now, but again, there's these barrels, specifically explosive heavy barrels, kind of in the way. There's not much safety going on in that case, and I mean, same thing with this vehicle here. Now, it's a no-brainer that this map takes place right next to water, and what I find really cool about it is the floating buoys with the lights all over them, and if you really get close to it, you can actually hear them. You could actually hear their bells. The water looks really real. It could be just me, but I do think that it is a very cool detail that you could really pick up on if you really look at it. But I will say this map does offer so much life to it, so many small details that people probably never picked up on before, and honestly, I would say that this map is definitely one of those overhated Call of Duty Black Ops 2 maps. I really do enjoy playing this map. At the end of the day, Black Ops games are known for their arcadey and colorful type vibe and just aesthetic, but it's nice to see that even though that some maps have some sort of a dark atmosphere and dark color grading, that it has so much life going outside of it, and there's plenty of colorful life when you think about it. So let me know what map you guys would like to see next. I hope you guys enjoyed this overanalyzing video, and I'll see you guys next week, and just remember to stay smart. Have a great day, everyone.